Yeah. Hello, beautiful folks. I am Eric Jason back with another video, but this one is somewhat egregious or a lot egregious. I'm at a loss for words for this one. I mean, I can't come up with nothing. Like I couldn't come up with a brief sentence or anything rhetorical. You know what I'm saying? This story is about a small-time mayor named Tiffany Henyard. She oversees a population of 20,000 people in Dalton, Illinois, right outside of Chicago, right? I can't believe this hasn't received any national coverage. So if you'd be so kind, please share this on behalf of the residents, okay? Thank you. As always, I'm grateful for your support. And if you don't mind, please subscribe to me on YouTube at provocativeAF. Much love to all. Okay? Hope you love the video.
Believe it or not, the woman that you just witnessed dressed as the crime kingpin Nino Brown from the 1991 Wesley Snipes movie, New Jack City, is an elected official who is now being investigated by the FBI. Now, this week, federal investigators confirmed that they are looking into Tiffany Henyard. She's the mayor of a small town in Illinois who has been accused of misusing taxpayer funds and more. And as a result of that, basically throwing the town into unmanageable debt. The situation is so bad that bankers are looking to repossess police cruisers from the town because she has failed to make payments to the lenders for the vehicles. But there's a lot more. So first, let's start off with who Henyard is. Henyard wears two hats in local government. As the Dalton mayor, it's known as the Village of Dalton, she takes home more than $46,000 in base pay. And as the supervisor of Thornton Township, she makes more than $200,000 a year, records show. She makes more money. She's the mayor of a small town of 20,000 people. She makes more money than our members of Congress. Like, let that sink in for a second. And in regard to her dressing as Nino Brown, she reportedly signaled for a DJ to play Rihanna's "Be Better Have My Money" while fully committing to her Nino Brown persona, even carrying a small stuffed dog reminiscent of a scene from the movie. Now, look, I've got no problem with that. If you want to have fun, if you want to be a little wacky in the way you do your job, I'm okay with that. I'm not okay with you hiring a DJ to do musical cues with taxpayer money, though, especially when there's a deficit in the town and now they're in a lot of debt. Now, here's some more information on the Village of Dalton. In Dalton, which shares a border with Chicago, about 15% of families live in poverty, census records show. Burdened with some of the highest property taxes in Cook County, homeowners feel the full brunt of the tax burden since there's little commercial or industrial development in the town. That is an important fact for you guys to remember as I give you more details about this story, right? Because they don't have a lot of business going on in this small town. So in order to generate tax revenue, the town has high property taxes. So whatever businesses they have operating out of this town, you want to protect those businesses and you want to ensure that they're paying their taxes, right? Because that's another way that you generate tax revenue. Again, keep that in mind. Now, the small town is currently in debt to the tune of $7 million. I know that when we talk about government debt, we typically talk about the federal debt, which is far higher than that. But remember, we're just talking about a small town of 20,000 people. So $7 million in debt is a big deal. And so there are all sorts of allegations against Henyard's leadership. For instance, the allegations include her funneling taxpayer money to her cancer charity, which appears to not be a real charity, using taxpayer money on hair and makeup prior to public appearances. I'm on camera every day. TYT does not pay for my hair and makeup. Trips to Atlanta, Austin, and New York City, on which she frequently flew first class and stayed in ritzy hotels like the Four Seasons, taken during Henyard's term, ran the city over $67,000, according to records obtained by a local news station, WGN9. Misusing police services 24/7 as her own personal security detail, which has led to the officers invoicing the town a ton of overtime hours. And basically it's costing a lot of money, hundreds of thousands of dollars for the town. Using taxpayer money to lease a Chevy Tahoe for herself, documents show that she also overpaid for it. So the Dalton Board of Trustees has called her out for a lot of this. And Henyard tried to, well, lie about it. So here's the moment where she was confronted about the Chevy Tahoe that she leased for herself.
I sat here and looked at a lease that y'all was paying $149,000 for one of them trucks. You make absolute, that's like when you 19 years old and you go get a car and the interest rate 27%. That makes absolutely no sense. You're not making great finance, excuse me?
Please state facts.
But let me tell you, here it is, dated December 27th, 2022, the cash price of a 2023 Chevy Tahoe, $93,216.71. Interest and APR, $55,929.49. Total lease price, $149,146.20. Tell me if it's not facts, because your signature is all on it.
I don't see that.
Okay, but you want to put more that?
I don't.
I don't see that? Your name is on the document. Like, you signed the document. Okay, all right, okay. Henyard also recently sparked further outrage by proposing a new law that would cap the next mayor's salary at $25,000, unless she remains in that role. That was reported by a local Fox affiliate, Fox 32. An Illinois Answers Project and Fox 32 investigation has also found that while in office, Henyard has funneled thousands of dollars in taxpayer money to a private foundation that bears her name. But the foundation seems super sketchy. This is probably part of the reason why the FBI is now looking into her use of taxpayer money. In a September 2022 meeting, Henyard and the township board voted to give $10,000 to her foundation, which claims to help people with cancer. Records show the foundation's paperwork was filed with the state the same day that the township payment was approved. Now, it's called the Tiffany Henyard Cares Foundation. A month ago, the Illinois Attorney General began investigating the charity, halted any more contributions to the charity, and also noted that the so-called charity failed to file financial documents showing how she spent the money. And so Henyard spent thousands of taxpayer dollars for a group bicycle ride to Springfield in support of a breast cancer bill, Henyard said in videos taken during the trip, but the bill was never formally filed. There was no bill, and state lawmakers weren't even in session. So days after receiving that $10,000 donation to her alleged charity, Henyard carried out that group bike ride in support of her charity, and she spent, more than $10,000 on it. So this was another investigation done by WGN9 News. And they looked through a Freedom of Information request. They looked at credit card records and they saw what she had spent the money on. They found that she had spent the money on hotels along the route of that bike ride. So look, I could literally use up the entirety of this show and maybe even tomorrow's show in doing deep dives into all the different allegations against Henyard. And there are a lot, which is why I'm happy that the FBI is now looking into this. But there